Play because the pussy's on the cock and he's singing cock-a-doodle-doo.
Eat a cock, eat a cock.
Cock-a-fucking-doodle-doo.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Eat a cock, eat a cock.
There it is. Eat a cock, eat a cock.
And he fucking cock-a-doodle-doo.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Is this how we're starting the show?
Oh, the show has already started, young man. We are already here.
That's
Thinking
funny.
about cock-a-doodle-doos. That's our friend Nee Kebabs. I own the rights to that music, so Facebook, you can kiss my butt. And you're lucky I said butt, because I got a new appendage here that could be kissed.
Mhm.
We'll leave
No
it at
doubt.
that. We'll
So
leave it
what's
at
the
that.
word of the day?
Oh, the word of the day is herbalicious. Herbalicious.
Herbalicious.
Yeah, the hippie says that
Herbalicious?
not herb.
No, herb.
Weirdo. Herb. Herbalicious. Herbalicious. If you go into tailored herbs, I had a brain fart there. Tailored herbs and concentrates, and you pick up, or you walk in and you say, "Hi, beautiful." Unless, of course, it's Damien, then you might want to say, "Hey, handsome." But usually it's Pothead or Damien there. You walk in, you say, the hippie said, "Are you all right over there?"
I'm just checking on my dog.
What are we looking at? Oh, the dog. Okay. Jazz back over here. So if you walk in there, and I hope you guys are listening up there in the New Brunswick area right now, get on over to Tailored Herbs and Concentrates and say, the hippie says your pre-rolls are herbalicious.
Herbalicious.
Yeah, and then they're going to give you one for free. No purchase
THC.
necessary.
So you can find out just how herbalicious their offerings are.
Goodness gracious. That song is our friend Nee Kebabs, Knee, as in like your kneecap, and then kebabs as in like kebab.
There you go, kebab.
As in like a kebab.
I'm going to get to eat good kebabs again pretty soon once I get to Montreal, because I'll tell you what, they got some incredible food there.
I'll tell you what, eh?
That's a city that's got great food.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. So that was the Nee Kebabs. By the way, Garrett, I'm always the first one here. I allow you to be first. Sometimes I just allow you to be first because I create the room. So when I make it, I can write it every time and then just post it, and I'll win every time. So don't go bragging too much over there, buddy.
And I think somebody's trying to impersonate you, Garrett, because I see somebody on Facebook and somebody on YouTube with your name. So be careful. You might be being deep faked with AI.
Oh.
As that's going on, I was looking at some deep fake on AI this morning on Facebook.
That's why I keep my hands so filthy like this.
Yeah.
So that they can't see my fingerprints.
Yeah, I was watching Elon Musk tell everybody that if you just invest $200,
that's it,
you'll get returns of $4,000 a week. Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with Elon Musk, right?
He knows everything.
Isn't that crazy? I can't believe Facebook lets those kind of things go up because they're scams.
But then I want to talk about my medicine, and then they're like, no. Well, I don't want to complain about them too much because they're pretty good about the medicine situation over here on Facebook.
I'm not one that
I don't want to piss them off. I don't want to piss them off and be like, and then they come back and be like, yo, you're talking smack. We're done.
Yeah.
I have that kind of pull, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sadly, they got the power.
I have no power. I got no power. Mrs. Hippie put me in my place bright and early this morning.
Oh, so that's how you started your day?
Yeah, I realize I have no power. I'm just a pawn in her world. Yeah.
That's funny.
No, not really funny at 7 o'clock in the morning when you're arguing about it.
No.
Anyway. No. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here. It is our last show until October 2nd, right? Is that what we're saying?
The interim.
So next Tuesday. I'm still going to stay on the air, and you will still be able to hear the beautiful voice of Hippie through your radio at WTHC Radio on Live 365 or TuneIn. But the man over here is moving to Montreal.
The stress is ramping up.
Oh.
I tell you.
Oh, listen, speaking of stress, my
Yeah.
friend Shirley Kell. Oh, I'm so sad. So we went away and we bought a sativa. Remember I told you when we went on our little trip?
Yep.
And you were a little shocked that we had gotten a sativa.
Yeah, that you had indulged yourself.
Because I really don't indulge. But when I go out, I enjoy a sativa, because I personally don't think I have a problem with sativa. It's
the other people who think that you do, eh?
It's not even the other people. Well, sometimes some people are like, yo, all right, enough, bro. but Mrs. Hippie now, she's the one that has the issue with my sativa intake.
Okay.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm a little crazier on sativa, a little, but this is a sativa. This is Bel Air Kush. I've decided that I'm always smoking Bel Air Kush because I got it down in the Bel Air area, so it's always
right.
But anyway, back to the other story. So now where was I?
You were talking about I don't know.
See, when you get that blank stare on your face, you get me all thrown off. And then I'm like, what am I talking about?
Yeah, I'm just sounding a little distracted today. I got a lot on my mind today.
Yeah, well, of course. Holy shit. Look at all these messages I'm missing. My thing's
Yeah, I know. I haven't even said good morning to everybody, I don't think.
No.
Garrett,
All right,
Lori,
let's
Kelly, how are you?
Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, we were talking about sativa, right? Curly Kell. Yeah, go ahead. Say hellos, and then I'll get back to that story about
Doug, how are you? Who am I missing here? Weedosaurus Rex. Very nice.
Nice to see you, Weedosaurus Rex. Good to see you again. You were here a while ago, and then you stopped coming around.
How's it going today?
We're happy to have you back, Weedosaurus.
Chardell's
in the house.
Woo! Good to see you. How's everything?
Yeah. So we're very excited because what?
Back to sativas.
Yeah. So all right. We got a lot of work to do today because we really got to come up with a name because Mrs. Hippie got all the paperwork filled out. We just got to fill in a name. Got to fill in a name and put it over to Al.
Well, Garrett and I had a little back and forth this morning on that.
Oh,
and he's created a pretty good little thing here. Let's have a look.
You have it on a wheel, like a spin the wheel, and the last one standing is the winner?
No, I was just thinking we would post it all over Facebook.
No, we don't have time for that. That's a 10-day thing. That's like by the time everybody votes, I say we let the people that are here and
make
us
the decision.
make the decision. These are the ones that are here every day hanging with us.
This is true. You know what? You got a really good point about that.
I'm not going to put it out to 1 billion people out there. We'll have 7 million votes, and it'll be a mess. I can't even count to 100, let alone 7 million.
Aside from that fact, you're right. These are the people who are with us every day, right?
They're the people that
really should have the say. You're right about it. Right. Do the wheel. Lori says, do the wheel.
I don't think the wheel's the right way to go because it's just going to keep eliminating good ones. And then all of a sudden we'll be stuck with something and we'll be like, no, I don't want that.
Don't like that.
So I don't know if the wheel is good.
All right.
But I think that if you put 5 of them up there, whatever 5 we think are the best 5, and then everybody puts a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and somebody keeps track of how many numbers that one gets. Oh, but our numbers are getting lower. Nobody wants to vote, you fuckers. Get back here.
They're all running away. No, we don't want to play here.
We don't want to be involved in this nonsense. The naming of a show. This could be huge for you guys.
Well, one day you might actually get the bragging rights and say,
I helped name that podcast of the year.
Right. That's right. Yep.
All right, so let's go.
Right here with us.
I want to say we're going to go with 5. 5 is the no. Do you think 5 is too many? Let's go with 4.
Let's have Garrett put up the 13 that we narrowed it down to. Let's run through them quick. Try to get 5 out of it.
All right, narrow it down to 5.
We'll narrow it down to 4, and then we'll just do a vote, and that's the way we'll roll.
That's what it's going to be.
You took out the one that says Hippie and Dr. High assholes of the month, right? That one's not
And
in
the
there.
one about Hippie having a very large penis now.
We should maybe leave that one in.
Goodness gracious, that guy can type quick.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He was
So
typing
there it
that
is,
shit while
folks.
he was typing that shit while we were talking.
Let's run them here. Dr. High, the Hippie and Dr. High's Cannabis Chronicles. That's
I'm not
a good
against it. I'm not against it.
The Hippie and Dr. High's Potent Perspectives. We like that one too.
Yes, I think these were the 13 that we already liked. So this is going to be tough because we have to get rid of a few.
Well, that's why we got to go through them again and see if we still feel the same way about them.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, 1 and 2 can stay in that top
1 and 2
5.
can stay. The Hippie and Dr. High's Canna Conversations.
Get rid of it.
Okay, 3's out. So far, we're keeping.
Don't listen to me. You have a vote too, sir.
Yeah, but no, I mean we got to narrow it down. So
right.
It's like each lawyer has a choice to have somebody on the jury or kick them off.
We can call it Hippie and Dr. High.
Yeah, or Dr. High and the Hippie,
or Dr. High and the Hippie, right?
Or Dr. Hippie and Da.High.
Dr. Hippie and Da.High. All right, come on, we're running out of time already. Goodness gracious.
The Hippie and Dr. High's THC talk. That kind of says what it is, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we want to sound a little fancier than that.
Right. The Hippie and Dr. High's Bud Banter, so that would eliminate that one. The Hippie and Dr. High's Hemp Huddle. The Hippie and Dr. High's Elevated Exchange. This
like
one is
that.
good.
That's a good one.
All
Put
right.
that one in there. So 1, 2,
we're going to keep number 7. So we're 1, 2, 7 so far.
1, 2, and 7 so far.
The Hippie and Dr. High's Dank Dialogues.
Dank dialogues. I like it, but I don't. I mean, put that one on the fence.
Let's put that one on a maybe until we get through the last couple, and then we'll see whether it goes into
and whether we can keep it or not, right? Because I like dank dialogues.
The Hippie and Dr. High's Green Guidance.
Nah.
Yeah, that one
I'm okay with that.
The Hippie and Dr. High's Elevated Perspectives.
No, I'm not against that.
No. And then we got the Hippie and Doctor.
Oh, good. That's a good one.
Yeah. So we didn't get very far in that one. So number 11 is no good. Is there 2 more waiting somewhere deeper?
I don't see
Facebook. All right. So I think we got 4, right? So we got the Hippie and Dr. High's Cannabis Chronicles, the Hippie and Dr. High's Potent Perspectives, the Hippie and Dr. High's Elevated Exchange, and the Hippie and Dr. High's Dank Dialogues.
What about this?
I think it makes it 4.
The Elevated Exchange with the Hippie and Dr. High. Instead of the
Elevated Exchanges with the Hippie and Dr. High.
Or any of them. Master Rochi and Dr. High. No, wait, no, that doesn't work. Crystal!
We have done this one before. Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. I think the name should go first, right? Cannabis Chronicles with the
any
Hippie
of
and
them
Dr.
should
High,
probably go first. Yeah,
we'll flip them. We'll flip them that way for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So say them the opposite way now, so I can hear them, and maybe they'll sound better.
Cannabis Chronicles with the Hippie and Dr. High.
Cannabis Chronicles.
Potent Perspectives with the Hippie and Dr. High.
Yeah.
Elevated Exchanges with the Hippie and Dr. High.
I don't like that one anymore. Get rid of that one.
Dank Dialogues with the Hippie and Dr. High.
No, I don't like it. I
think we're Cannabis Chronicles and Potent Perspectives.
Yeah, one of them too. Yeah, I think we're down to those 2.
All right. Those are the 2. Do you want to separate them out, Garrett, and pop them in there?
Hi, Tom.
Cannabis Chronicles and the Hippie and Dr. High. And Potent Perspectives with the Hippie and Dr. High.
Yeah.
And those are going to be the 2.
Lori, no voting more than once. Esther Rochi's in the house.
Master Rochi? Master Rochi, namaste. How are you, my friend?
Namaste. Hi.
How's everything going? Oh, it's so nice. Do you have time to join us today, Master Rochi? It's so hard to get the time and to have some time with you.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Hey, Crystal, how are you today? Tom?
Damn it, I didn't use the beard oil today.
Oh.
Of course, he shows up on a day when I didn't use the Earl.
Nice.
All right. So we have the two. I'm happy with those two.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's a million out there that could be really, really much better, but we're high and it works.
Well, and it's simple, right? I mean, you don't want to give people too much to try and remember anyway.
Absolutely, Master
awesome.
Rochi. We're moving in October, so we're gonna be. Well, he's moving, not me. I'm staying here.
Yeah. Well, I'm moving, but we're moving too. But we're staying here. We're just joining a couple of more networks, right? With the Pace Radio Network,
Radio
and
Network,
TV.
CBG TV. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's really going to be. It's going to be great. We're going to have a good time with it, and we're going to be able to absolutely.
I'm going to leave Dr. High in charge of setting that up whenever you guys can make it happen ASAP. I mean, he's going to be moving on the 1st and the 2nd. I think our first show back will be the 2nd or the 3rd.
Yeah, after today, we'll be back on Tuesday of next week. And then we'll set it up. I will reach out to you, Master Rochi, and we'll see what your schedule's like, and we'll arrange something. Would love to see you. It's been too long since we've chatted.
Absolutely.
I know everything's going good though, because Crystal's popped in now and again, and she's let us know about some of your new products you have going on. And
feels like a lifetime since I've talked to you.
Getting out and about and doing your thing. So that's
and
a beautiful
I saw
thing.
you in the bubble. I saw you in the bubble. I'm a little jealous about the bubble.
I did see you in the bubble.
I'm a little pissed. I wanted to be in the bubble with you.
Yeah.
I could have fit. I'm a little fella.
That's so funny. That's cool though. I've never had the opportunity to get into a situation of that nature.
I don't know. Like I feel like if you ever smoke a bowl and you get that hit that's after, and you get that little bit of smoke that's left in there,
right?
The bubble, he says. Yes, the bubble. But I feel like when they're shooting that shit into your mouth, like I didn't turn it down. I'll never turn it down. Don't worry about that. But like when my friend Billy Blaze was walking around with that gun, that was okay. But when you're in a bubble like that, I feel like you're just inhaling like smoke, and I don't know. I mean, obviously you're gonna get high.
Yeah, but it's in your eyes and everything, and there's no escaping it, right? Because
you're like trapped in there. Master Rochi, did they give you goggles? Do I need to wear my glasses when I go in there?
You'll need to wear them when you come out, for sure.
Oh, my eyes will be bloodshot. That's why your eyes are bloodshot, because when we were kids, we didn't know how to smoke, and the smoke kept going up in the eye. We were like having to look at the joint while we were smoking it.
That's it. How you doing, Jamie? Thanks for joining us today.
Am I doing this right? Oh, damn, my eye. Damn, smoking my eye again. Damn.
You know what I think it would be like? I had a brother-in-law years ago.
He's still blowing stuff out of his sinuses. See?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like a good time, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, I have shit going in my ears. Oh my goodness, Christopher, you're amazing. Thank you.
Oh, good heads up.
We almost missed our 420 song.
Oh, we don't necessarily want it quick and easy, Garrett. We want a little bit of thought. We got 15, 16, 17 people in here right now. That's enough to give us a definitive answer. I really want to know what you guys think. Should we be the potent perspectives with Da.Hippie and Dr. High? Or what was the other one? Cannabis Chronicles. Was it Cannabis Chronicles?
I think that we need to look either of these names up and make sure that they're available. Like somebody else might already be out there doing Cannabis Chronicles, like I don't want to be stealing.
Can you check that, Garrett, real quick? Would you have a chance just to like Google whether there's Cannabis Chronicles, anybody's doing a podcast, or Potent Perspectives? That's the only time we'd have to worry. Like somebody could be writing a blog post or whatever. I don't think it.
Right. I just don't want to. We want to make sure we're following the rules. All right, let's play our 420 song because you know I love calligraphy and they got to be played 100 times a day. Here's THC by Calligraphy.
Hey, it's Bill Schmidt Jr., a.k.a. Billy
Cannabis
Blaze,
Chronicles, eh?
a.k.a.
That's your vote,
420
Master
Kid
Roach.
on
Thank you.
Ballistic Cloud. R.I.P. to my man Derek Crow.
How you doing, Darren?
I want to give a shout out to Calligraphy. My dude Means, little homie Manuel Noriega, Big Just.
Well, it's only 12:20 where we are, Jamie, but it's 4:20 somewhere.
You got 'em. Big buds to little crumbs broke up in the bottom. Feel like autumn leaves falling. Only problem needs solving is seeing who I'm calling for some trees to indulge in. Need to holler at Billy. He keep his head in the cloud.
That's your background, Lori. I popped that in there for you today.
Bel Air Kush.
That's one you love.
Oh my God, the painting in the background is amazing. This gentleman, I'm pretty sure his name is Mike. Oh, he's part of this whole Billy Blaze in the world of calligraphy and THC and the holistic cloud. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Yeah, I noticed that today.
Michael Alicia. Look him up on TikTok. The art you will see is fucking amazing. Oh my God, this is nothing compared to some of the shit I saw over there. Oh, I wanted to buy everything.
So Garrett says we're good on those names.
Man. Art, hand painted shit, man, everywhere. Check them out, bro. He come up right away. Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Oh, that's a good thing.
World, give me beats, give me mental control.
That's a good thing.
I don't know what's going on. We got to talk after this. Garrett's got some splaining to do.
Oh, yeah?
You got some splaining to do, Garrett.
History free from information. Provide the right education. Show love, holistic cloud, politics throughout the nation. Making it stop debating Billy Blunt stats, make the taste of weed.
You know what you did, fucko. Don't throw me under the bus, Lori. I was going to yell at him. Throw that shit, lick that shit, burn it, throw that. I saw yours, and that's why I want one, damn it. It was beautiful. It was you. I know, Curly Kel. Thank you. Oh, I think she might have been talking to Garrett. WTHC, we're back and we're hanging. It's the hippie and Da.High over there. What were we talking about before we went to the commercial? I mean, to the song.
We're talking about the name for the show. We're talking about whether we're safe to go with them or not. And Garrett did some checking and he said we are safe. So we're good to go. Is it Potent Perspectives or Cannabis Chronicle? I think Potent Perspectives is pretty good, but I don't know. What do you think between those two?
Really?
Which one grabs you?
All right, let's say them again. Say it.
Cannabis Chronicles.
Welcome to Potent Perspectives with the hippie and Da.High, or welcome to Cannabis Chronicles. Cannabis Chronicle. Yeah, no. Potent Perspectives. Potent. I got to say it a lot, so I got to practice. Potent. Potent.
Chronicles.
Potent Perspective.
Master Roachy was Chronicles.
Chronicle experiences with the hippie and Da.High.
Well, I mean, we can always play with it, as we call it something, but as long as that's good. Well, thanks for
Oh,
stopping in, Master Rochi. It's so good to see you, and I will reach out to you, um, and we'll set
I
something up.
saw you're going to be on
And come
with
and join us.
I saw you're going to be on with Sir Steve.
And okay,
All right, Darren. Absolutely, we're here for questions.
nice. Well, have a great show tonight, Master Rochi, and we'll
Much
chat
love,
very
Master
soon.
Rochi. I love the beard stuff. Thank you so very much. Oh, if you didn't know, Crystal sent me beard stuff. Sorry, Crystal.
So, what's your question, Darren? What can I attempt to help you figure out? Good luck at the doctor, Chardell. Hope all goes well. Hit that RSO.
We love
Absolutely.
you, Chardell. Much love, sweetie.
So this is a real thing, Darren. I've done some studying on it. I've looked at. I follow a few doctors on LinkedIn who are very prominent in the space. Peter Grimspoon, Jake Finch,
Dr. Harris.
Dr. Harris, and we touched on this with Dr. Harris also. Yeah, it's a real thing, and it's basically people go through uncontrolled vomiting and can get very, very sick from using cannabis. And the funny thing is it happens to people who've been using cannabis sometimes for 30 years, and then all of a sudden, bang, there's a switch over. I haven't known anybody who suffered specifically from that, but what I have,
Well, we did. We actually met somebody, remember? Our
who,
friend Fulton Block's Most Wanted came in and
oh,
said
that's
he's been
true.
smoking for 20 years, and now all of a
That's
sudden he
true.
throws up every time he does it. We didn't get to spend very much time with him, but he would love to come on, I'm sure, and talk about it if you wanted to,
Yeah,
Doctor.
that's interesting. But I used to be concerned with that because I had to go for a little period of my life where I wasn't able to consume. And I know quite a few people, actually more than I care to think about, who I got high with all through high school, continued to smoke weed as adults. And then when they got into their early 40s, something just switched for them. And really kind of a funny thing because there doesn't seem to be any reason
You know what I'm
for
going to
it.
say?
And the doctors don't even understand it.
You'll probably hate me, not you, Dr. High, but everybody out there will probably hate me because of what I'm about to say. But it's not, I mean, it's a matter sometimes this stuff could be because of the type of dabs that somebody's doing, or like, I just feel like if you're not getting them from the appropriate place, you're taking a risk every single time. And I mean, all right, you're getting dabs for a good price and you're getting a bunch of them, but we don't know what's in them. And when you're dabbing them, maybe that's what's causing, if you're doing a shitload of something that has something in there that we don't know what it could be, that's making you nauseous or sick. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. High, but I mean,
Well, I mean, that would be interesting to know, right? What type of cannabis has an individual consumed when
well,
the
the
onset of this
question is
occurs?
if this is the Darren I think it is, Darren lives in upstate New York somewhere,
Okay,
and there's a lot of reservations in their area, so they do a lot of their cannabis growing buying from the reservation compared to
right,
like a dispensary.
right.
Now, I don't know if the reservation sells dabs or if they get their dabs from somewhere else, but I know they get their flower, a lot of it, and I could be completely wrong, and Darren, this might not even be the right Darren for all I know, but I'm pretty sure it is the right Darren.
Well, they're from what I experience on the Canadian side of the border with the residential land, right on First Nations territory,
See, he just
is
said it's completely unregulated and it's weed and dabs.
oh yeah, they have everything, and they tend to keep it kind of in house, right? Like you'll find that a lot of the products are being made by indigenous community members, right? Because it creates employment within the community. It's You know what I mean? They trust each other because they're all part of one community, and it makes for pretty good business. You know what I mean? It keeps the money where it belongs on the territory. So, but the one thing I have found is that they're pretty conscientious. At least the places that I've dealt with are pretty conscientious about the product. Now, of course, I couldn't speak
Let me
to
pause you for a second.
microbials. Yeah,
Look, can I pause you for a second? Because if I remember
absolutely.
correctly, last week we read a story about all the weed in New York being contaminated with mold spores, and people could
Yeah,
be getting sick because the
mhm,
weed has mold spores in it.
yeah, yeah.
It was a
Microbial
whole big
counts.
story, right? It was a
That's
whole
what
big
they talk
story
about.
on it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and it was a huge percentage. Like I don't remember whether it was 70 or 80%, but it was a really big percentage of the tests that were conducted, not by the cultivators, but the tests that were conducted by the group doing the investigation into the quality.
You see what he wrote? The
Found
quality is
high
extremely
contamination.
low.
Really, not on this side. On the First Nations here, the dispensers. I mean, you have to pick and choose your product, right? You go into a dispensary and they have 40 different strains available. So yeah, if you go for the $40 ounce or $60 ounce, you may not be getting a high quality. But if you're willing to spend the $140 or the $200 on an ounce, then you get something really decent, really decent. And the place I go to, it's $35 a quarter, no matter what. You know what I mean? There's not the expensive. They do have the cheap end, but just visually, you'd have to really need the cheap end to buy it. You know what I mean? The colors are
Right.
more brown than
Right,
vibrant,
right,
and
yeah,
the
and
smell is a
or
little off.
pale green. I don't like that pale green color
Oh,
anymore.
don't you remember when Hydro first came out? It was that limey,
Yeah, but
like
it was bright,
green like
fluorescent.
we got here on the screen.
Yeah, but fluorescent. Yeah, right. The now I see weed out there. Like when I went to that festival, it was a lot of pale, like very pale weed, no color to it at all, just green, like a
Right.
very bland green color. I don't know. Yeah, so you're able to test at home, Christopher? Is that what he's saying? Is he gonna be able to test his THC and all that at home? Is there
Not really. I mean, you got to be willing
just
to
test
invest
it
at
by
least a
taste?
grand.
Test it by
Yeah,
taste.
you have to be willing to invest probably at least $1,000 to buy a
Happy
test
birthday to
machine
Buck
for your
Sticky's
home use,
mom.
and even then, they're not really accurate at that price. I mean, you really have to invest if you want to get fairly accurate THC testing in your own environment. You really have to invest like 3-4 grand in a testing machine, right? Where you break down your sample, you grind it up, you put it into a little glass capsule, it goes into the machine. The machine does what it does to it, it analyzes it, and then spits out a result. But anything that I found
Now,
that's cheap like
in New
that,
York, well, I don't wanna get off of Darren because that's a pretty important topic, especially
yeah.
with the mold spores and
And
stuff like that.
Garrett sent
I know
me,
Darren is in the process. He lives in New York, so he's allowed to grow, and I know he has a couple of his own already in growth. Uh, and they look beautiful from what I know. I mean, I'm not a professional like yourself over there. I am, but I only smoke it. But, you're a professional, like, you know the stuff. But, his pictures looked I mean, the video I saw was beautiful. See? See what
Liv,
Weedosaurus Rex says he works in the Ohio industry.
and I'd like to ask you, what do you do under those circumstances in Ohio's industry when you have a sample come back, right? Because you'll conduct your harvest, you'll dry your product, then you'll send out for testing out to a lab. If you get a sample back where the microbial count exceeds safe levels, right, or levels that have been set by industry standard or by like by regulation in the state, do you have a process where you can send the cannabis out to be irradiated to kill all those spores and then make it safe for consumption, or do you have to destroy that harvest?
Don't
That
ever say those words.
Well, I mean, there are circumstances where that does have to happen. So
No, 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 no.
And while we're waiting for Weedosaurus Rex to answer that, I'm going to respond back to Darren because while we were talking about it, Garrett pulled up some information. So I'm just going to read out what it says online about this. Cannabinoid hypermemesis syndrome is a rare but recognized condition associated with the chronic long-term use of cannabis. The symptoms are characterized by recurrent episodes of severe nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. These symptoms can be extremely distressing and often lead individuals to seek medical attention. CHS typically occurs in individuals who have been using cannabis heavily and over an extended period of time. Paradoxically, one of the features of CHS is that hot showers or baths may temporarily alleviate symptoms, which can lead to frequent hot water use.
Watch out for your
CHS
water bill.
has 3 phases. So it has the what they call prodromal phase, which I don't know what prodromal means, but involves early morning nausea and abdominal discomfort. The hypermemetic phase includes severe vomiting and abdominal pain, and the recovery phase is marked by relief from symptoms after discontinuing cannabis use. Now, here we come to the causes.
Can I stop you for a second there,
Yep.
sir?
Absolutely.
All right, because I'm putting a stop to this whole conversation because I feel, and this is my opinion only, and you can kiss my that's not the right response. What I'm gonna say is for 100 million years, we never had this cannabis, whatever the hell you call it.
But we don't know.
What? No, I know. I've been smoking a lot of weed for 40 years. I mean, I'm a candidate for a heavy smoker for a very long time
Me
and
too.
never had no issues. But what I am going to say is now that they have learned to manipulate our marijuana and make it into stuff that I don't like, I think that that's where we're going wrong. I think people are touching that Delta 8 crap too much, that Delta 10 crap too much. I think that the some of that stuff is not good, and I feel like they shouldn't be manipulating weed to make it so that we can smoke it legally. They should be manipulating the laws so that we can smoke weed legally. Story over.
Well, I mean, cannabis should just be completely deregulated and off any
Right.
schedule. It should just be like, like basil or thyme or oregano or whatever, like people should be able to do with it what they want because it causes no societal harms, other than individuals that do suffer negative consequence from cannabis use. And there are some, but they are
I
few.
just feel like ever since like Delta 8 and Delta 10, not even that, since Spice, when that crap Spice came out and they started manipulating the marijuana to try to make it so that we could buy it legally, however they could do it, whatever bill you want to call it, that's when all this other stuff started happening. When all of a sudden people were having psychosis and people were biting and eating people's faces off, and they were, for before that, Willie Nelson, he ain't never eating nobody's face off. I don't think.
Well, I don't, who knows? We can't.
I don't
say for
know.
a
I
fact,
don't
and
know.
it might
Right?
have
I
been a
can't guarantee it, and he probably has no teeth by now.
fake. The wealthy have ways of hiding their misdeeds.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yep.
So you know what? I would say that there's some validity to what you were saying about this if it was only occurring in the United States, right? But in Canada, where we don't have D8 and D10 and HHC, and I mean nobody's synthesizing it, right? Because cannabis is fully legal here. This still occurs to people. It still occurs with people. You know what I mean? So people still get this syndrome. So I'm not sure that, you know what I mean? We can look at it from that. Maybe we do have to think about it as something that's really valid.
Yeah. Well, Garrett, you are a little weird, so you might have had some effects. You got to stick with the Bel Air Kush. That's what I say.
Thanks,
Love
Arisha. Yeah, I think that's going to end up being the winner. So let me
Yeah,
just
it
go back
seems
to
like
this
Chronicles. I got to learn how to spell and say Chronicles now. Thanks, guys. Fuckers.
So what it says about the causes of CHS is that it's not fully understood, but it's believed that it's related to the way that cannabinoids interact with the endocannabinoid system. And the endocannabinoid system plays a role in regulating nausea and vomiting. Because as we know, for some people, cannabis is beneficial to counteracting nausea and vomiting, as in the case with
Right.
people
And but
undergoing
why wouldn't
chemotherapy.
why wouldn't have Willie Nelson? And okay, he got through with it, but there's a million people who have been smoking weed since the way before we were even born, and nobody said, "Oh my God, I smoke weed now and I get sick." And now all of a sudden it just started coming out like, "Oh my God, people are getting sick from smoking weed." It's just it's propaganda. God damn it!
But I've known people this has happened to in a long time. Like I've known people this was happening to in the 90s
That
who
they
had
all of a
smoked
sudden they
weed
just
for a
got
very
sick.
long time, and then all of a sudden it just completely went the other way, and they had to stop.
I don't know. I think
I just didn't know
they
there was a name
told you
for it,
that.
right?
They were like, "My mom said I had to quit, so I'm gonna tell you that I'm getting sick from it."
Well, we were all full grown adults in our own lives, so there was no mom interfering at
My
the
wife said, "I gotta quit, guys, so I'm gonna tell you that it's making me sick now. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't smoke weed no more."
time. That's
It's a
funny.
bunch of malarkey. Just get a joint and smoke it. Suck it up.
That's funny.
The weed will make you feel better when you're done with the joint. Damn it.
That's funny.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So it says that the treatment is stopping cannabis use.
Yeah.
It said, which is
Oh.
often challenging for individuals with a history of heavy use. Supportive care, such as intravenous fluids and anti-nausea medications, may be necessary during acute episodes. Prevention involves either reducing cannabis use or discontinuing it altogether. Education about the potential risk of heavy and prolonged cannabis
This
use
is
is
written
essential.
by what
Now,
side
it
of the
also
party?
says it's a rare condition.
Is this a Fox News report?
Yeah,
I knew it.
it's the information that was requested and we're providing. But this is the final paragraph. And it says, it highlights a fact, rare condition. It's important to note that cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome is relatively rare, and most people who use cannabis do not develop this syndrome.
You know what?
The exact
You know what I'm
prevalence
going to give you?
of CHS is not well known, but it appears to be more common in long-term heavy users.
All right, I got the answer.
Is that
I know I pissed a couple people off because they already left, but I don't care. I got the answer. The answer is stay off the sativas, you psychos. It's giving you anxiety and it's making you think you're sick. All right, how's that? Is that better?
Well, I don't know. I guess if you can psychosomatically force yourself to vomit and cramp, and yeah, then maybe. But that's the funny thing, right? So I missed what Weedosaurus Rex said about. So that I don't know. I'm a supervisor of dispensary. Not too sure on the cultivating or processing side of things. I can find out for you though. I know if there's a recall or it expires, we do have to destroy it. Yeah, that's the worst part of your job. I can believe that. Yeah, we had to do, and in Canada, when you destroy cannabis in a licensed facility, it's a grinder. It's like a big grinder. And the cannabis goes into the grinder, and as it grinds, it adds a substance very similar to cat litter to it.
That's okay.
And so it gets all ground up with the cat litter.
I had an issue when I was younger. I smoked cat litter before.
Yeah, and when it's destroyed, it's destroyed. But I'll tell you a funny story.
You know what I really should do? I probably should play a commercial. We haven't played one since we started. And
well, we did our 420, but you didn't do a commercial at the same time?
No, I just played a song.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know that, though.
Breaking the law.
Rex.
I'm breaking the law. I'm breaking the law. All right,
There we
let's
go.
do a commercial and we'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry
Sorry,
will
Dr.
be ready
High.
in
I'm
just
a little
minute.
riled up today. I
Dad,
don't know why.
your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
New medicine, I think.
Hey, honey, why
Okay.
don't you take
It's a hybrid.
Well, you know what I love about doing the
You
show,
help
man.
care
I
for
was
a
I was feeling stressed and anxiety before we got on
making
here,
sure they're
but
safe and comfortable.
just
But
kind of
Well,
chills me
it's all
out.
gone now.
Time for
Yeah, it
yourself.
takes my mind off of
AARP,
Yeah.
we can help with
My world.
information and
Samantha!
info on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself,
Oh, I'm
the better
not
care you
worried.
can provide for your loved
They're
one.
back. They all
Thanks,
came
Dad.
back.
Thank you. You're there for them.
I
We're
love
here
you
for
all. Thank you
Find
so
free
much.
care guides to
And
support
like I
you
said,
and
I
your
don't have
loved
anything
one at
against Delta 8. No, well, I mean, I do,
That's
but I mean, I don't
AARP.org
mind it.
/caregiving.
If it's working
Public
for some
service
people,
announcement
it's
brought to
working.
you
Yes.
by AARP and the Ed Council.
Yeah, it's good that they acknowledge it's rare, for sure, and
Right.
it is pretty rare.
Class.
Extremely
Especially-
rare
Which one
because
did
I've
this
known a
weekend?
million potheads in my
Well,
life,
I
and I've
raised my
never
older
heard of it
sister
until
to a big
recently.
oak tree. It was at least
What's Lori
100
saying
years
about
old.
check out her
My
dis-
mom said I
Oh,
must have set a record or something.
when she said
Then
check
I
out my
went down by a
dispenser, I was like,
stream
you brought a
and stepped on this
dispensary?
huge rock and saw all of these little minnows
No,
swimming
what's
around
the name,
evil.
Lori?
And then I rescued my
Next
little
level
brother from
wellness
the
number
evil
4.
Skunk King who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for
Now,
safety.
behave
And then
yourself
we all laid
if
out
it's
and
if
told
it's
stories until it
it's
got
fake.
dark. And the big
Is that
brother
in
left us all to
Clarksburg?
be
I think they're in
home.
Clarksburg, right?
Yeah,
Where
some
were you, Jill?
Clarksburg,
We went
West
to the
Virginia,
forest.
or in that
It's not that
surrounding
far away.
area.
Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous.
Weedosaurus Rex, we'd
It's
love to
closer
have
than
you
you
up
think.
sometime.
Check out
me up.
discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the
Absolutely.
U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Are you in the Owensville or Middletown, New York area? Revamp your space with Collins Paints Ltd.
Yeah, I
Every
think
walls like
Clarksburg,
Collins Paints
Sutter Fort.
Ltd. Add a splash of color to your world.
Probably should wait until this
Collins
loud
Painting
ass
is a
commercial's
veteran
over.
operated business. They can transform your space to whatever your heart desires. Say goodbye to the boring days and hello to possibilities of bright and vibrant colors. The Collins Painting team are a group of skilled professional painters who will turn your vision into reality. Call Collins Paint Ltd. today to get a fast and easy quote.
You might want to wait until after October when we're on Canadian TV as well. Then you'll become famous.
845-869-8176.
Discover the natural path to wellness at Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Herbs.
With a passion for holistic health, we are your
Yeah,
trusted
she'd be
source
happy
for
to send
premium
her
herbs
husband
and
to the
concentrates.
Southwest Minnesota
Yeah.
area for a couple
Our
of weeks.
dedicated team is here to guide you on your
Like,
wellness
yeah,
journey.
take 'em away.
7 days a week, 10 to 10, ensuring you have access to what you need when you need
Concentrates.
it most. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates is located
They're
at
pot.
2941 Highway 11, Burnt Church, New Brunswick, Canada. If you need assistance anytime,
I need assistance. I need weed.
just call 506-871-4299. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Where all the potheads go.
Where all the potheads go. WTHC. Dr. High, did you hear the word of the day?
It's Herbosaurus.
No, herbalicious. Herbalicious. The word is, don't listen to Dr. High. He's high. The word is herbalicious. If you go there today, head on over. You guys down here in the United States, this is an opportunity for you to use your passport. Head on up over there and get yourself a free joint at Tailored Herbs and Concentrates. Where the
No, you got to get rid of the H, Garrett. Hippie doesn't like the H.
The H is silent. It's silent. It's
Well, we're not
herb.
speaking French.
Herb.
Nobody yells,
Herbalicious.
help, help, unless you're French.
Herb. Help. 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 I don't know.
And
I
when
like
you're down there
herb.
at TH&C, tell them Cannabis Chronicles with the Hippie and Dr. High sent you.
Yes. Cannabis Chronicle. This is going to be rough. Oh, Cannabis
That's all right.
Chronicles with the hippie and
We're just
Dr.
a couple of stoners trying to make our way into this big world. We'll
Who
figure it
speaks
out.
French in Canada? Nobody. Eh?
Well,
Anyway.
some do. I'm just not one of them.
I don't either.
So Lori says she's looking for. So you want to buy a
Drugs.
dry herb vaporizer, and you want to get a vape pen? Is that what you're saying, Lori? I just want to understand what you're looking for because I've seen some. They got some interesting vape.
I think she wants all three: flower, vape, and distillate. I speak Lori.
Flower, vape. Okay, so you want vape carts?
Yeah, flower. But let's talk about her dispensary first because they're going to come on the air. They want to hang out with us.
Next Level Wellness.
Yeah, they have 4 locations in the West Virginia area.
Yeah, they actually have. They have some nice carts for sure. They have some nice with like 75% THC, 7 to 8% CBD, which is beautiful. Like that's not something you see very often. You don't find them in your dispensary with that kind of percentage of CBD either, and that's a good thing. By the way,
don't ever look for them.
Have you vaped your oil yet?
No, but you know what I'm thinking is today's the day. I'm gonna see how this is getting low. I've decided that once it starts to get like towards the bottom, then I'm just gonna add CBD to it. This way, I still have my bottle instead of finishing my bottle and then adding it. I figure I could just take a little squirt of that and add to the top of this when it's ready, and then slowly it'll just dissipate, and I'll no longer have
you save some flavor. And you kind of get that weaning effect, right? As your nicotine decreases.
The more CBD I put in, the less nicotine will be there. But over the time, I can wean myself a little bit. I might even buy one more bottle and do it that way for a little while longer. And then, boop.
Yep.
Done with that vice. The stupid nicotine vice does nothing for me.
So West Virginia is more open-minded, I think, than Pennsylvania because I don't know. Oh no,
I wouldn't say open-minded. I would say simple-minded. Oh no, did I say that?
I don't remember seeing shatter in your dispensary or diamonds.
Yeah, I have both.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'm mistaken.
Yeah, no, I just don't do that shit. Shatter I can get whenever I want. Diamonds are once in a while. I mean, they're not there every time, but
sometimes. They're unless you have a dab rig set up, they're not as easy to smoke either, right?
Yeah, I tried nectar collecting a diamond once or twice. It didn't work very well.
No, it doesn't work very well.
Kind of crushed them up and threw them in the garbage and said, "Fuck you guys! I hate."
Crush them up and put them in a joint.
I crushed them up and put them in the garbage and said, "I hate you guys."
So for me, Lori, if you're listening here for the vape cartridges, I would go with. There are 2 that I saw that I really like. I'm just trying to find them again because I got distracted and went and looked at the concentrates. Where are you, little suckers?
Dude, do you think that before you give advice out, you should probably ask what her symptoms are?
What, to Lori?
Yeah, besides crazy.
Well, we kind of know.
I know you're probably trying to get her a joint for crazy, but
no.
No,
I just want to help Lori find exactly what will make her.
Well, she has lots of back pain and knee pain.
Yep.
She has lots.
So we're gonna address the head and we're gonna address
the head is a big one. The head's a big one. She's crazy as a loon.
So Lori, you might want to look at. I'll type these in. Oh, they got one here called Hippie Crasher.
That's mine. Yeah.
Hippie Crasher.
You come suck on some Hippie Crasher.
Hindu Kush cart. Well, it's Hindu. It's a Hindu Kush. Oh, I'm not even typing here. I'm typing and I'm not typing.
Hey, listen. Let her write it down. You ain't got time to type. We're working here.
So Hindu Kush. And this is nice because it's 74% THC.
Michael!
Just under 8% CBD.
I have to stop you. Michael is the artist of this beautiful art here behind me.
That's a really cool piece. Like I saw that as a post on Facebook today before.
Oh my goodness.
Our background, but I looked at it. I'm like, that's really kind of cool.
Michael, I would love to have you on the show in the near future as well. So please contact me. I want to talk about your beautiful art I mean, I saw you give some to Muck Sticky and other people at the festival, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. You made me much more handsome than I really am. Panama Red.
Yes. One of the best weeds I ever smoked.
Absolutely, Michael.
Was a landrace strain called Red Congolese, and it was ugly, but it come from Africa, and it was a landrace, so it was a pure strain. It had never been crossed with anything. It was just a pure strain, and it was really kind of ugly in the bag. Like when I received it, I was like, ugh, this isn't very good looking. But I'll tell you, it was deceptive because it rocked. It was so good, Red Congolese.
I saw all of your shit, Michael, in the on your TikTok. Holy shit, man. You are a very talented artist. Very talented. And you gave one to Jelly Roll. That's fucking cool shit. Yeah. So she wanted to know what were the percentages. I saw her say that over there of those before you go on.
They're both in the mid 70s, 73, 74% THC, but they're close to 8% CBD. So for your back pain and things like that, it's good because your pain is probably associated to some sort of inflammation, as most pain is. So the CBD can help address that, and it's plenty potent enough at 74% THC that you're not going to miss a lick. You know what I mean? You're not going to
get high.
Yeah, you're still going to get.
We're still taking a little bit of care, a little bit of the crazy you got going on up in there.
And it's better that you mix them a little bit anyway, right? Like I was really happy to see. Those two different strains here and those kind of blends. They're both fairly similar blend, but what you'll end up with is different terpenes in those pens because they're different strains, right? Hindu Kush and Panama Red. So yeah, it's the Hindu Kush, the Kush Mountain Range. That's exactly where it comes from, and that's a very ancient. Like this Kush is like a land race. It's the plants have been there for a long time, so they make the hash from. Hash is huge over there in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So that's the thing. Like they actually make more hash than they use it for flour. Oh, big boobs cause back problems. So I don't think CBD will shrink them though.
No, but we can try.
Big boobs, back problems. Now, were you looking for flour too, Lori?
Yes, she wants.
Or were you looking for a dry herb vaporizer?
I gave her my dry herb vaporizer. She wants flour.
Okay, so she wants flour for the dry herb. All right. So let's have a look at the flour.
Yes. Flour.
What's up? All right. I'm having a look now.
How does their overall menu look? I mean, is it seems pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder if they take out of state cards.
Like I don't think that. I think that you could go to this dispensary and leave with just about anything you want.
How's their prices though? How are their prices compared?
You can, Lori, but it's not. You know what I mean? You have to take those diamonds. You have to put them. You have to crush them up. So you'd have to use like a lighter and smash them. Then you'd actually have to put them inside paper first. So you'd want to take parchment paper and fold it over it, and then crush it into a powder, and then put the powder into the jar.
Not worth it.
Yeah, it's and really it's 100% THC, 99.9% THC. There's no reason for it. The money that you're going to spend on it, you won't. Yeah, it's too much work.
Yeah.
If you're dabbing, it's one thing, right? Because you can pick up the diamond and you can drop it right onto the nail, and bang, you're good to go. And diamond and terp sauce, because that's a lot of the ways that you'll see diamonds sold. You'll have the diamonds, but they'll be in a very liquidy golden sauce, right? Like a viscous honey or something. And that's the terp sauce that separates out as the THCA crystallizes under pressure and with the solvent. That's all the terpenes and the CBD and the CBN and the CBG, all that's in the sauce. the diamonds themselves are virtually pure THC. So to get the full spectrum effect, you kind of need that terp sauce with them.
Preparation sounds, yeah, right. Ah,
so what do you like for flower, Lori? Do you have a preference for sativas, indicas? Does it matter? You can get a torch dab break too. Like it's a whole rigmarole. If you want to see what it's about, just YouTube somebody dabbing, and you see it's not just as simple as a torch. You have to buy the rig. You have to, you're going to be in for $100 at least by the time you're set up to smoke the diamonds. And it's really not the best thing. So, I mean, it's okay, but it's not really necessary. It's like overkill, right? It's like drinking Everclear as opposed to a whiskey. It just doesn't make sense. It's a ritual, Garrett. That's the thing.
If you got the time to sit and enjoy a nice dab, then it's worth it. I mean, but like me, I'm on the run. I'm running all the time. You can tell by my slender build that I'm always running. I just don't have time for dabs. Dr. High.
Yeah.
I had a question about their dispensary. Damn it. Now it's gone.
Well, when it comes to sativas, Lori, you have 4 options. So you either have Clemenberry. They're $15 a gram, almost straight up too. And but 2 of them are only.
Well, that's what I wanted to know. How are the prices compared to Pennsylvania, bruh?
A 3.5 there of flour is $45. And the carts that I recommended to Lori are 0.5s at $40.
Half a gram for $40.
Yeah.
So they're about the same price as me.
Oh, yeah, pretty similar, I think.
Pretty similar.
Oh, no citrus, Lori? So lemon tarts off the books. So now you're down to, hold on.
I just recommend the Bel Air Kush.
Lemon berry.
See if you can get that there. It's close.
Or once again, Panama Red.
They have it in flower.
And the numbers are decent. The Clemenberry is almost 21% THC, and the Panama Red, they have 2 of them. They have Panama Red and they have Panama Red 2. And the Panama Red 2 is at 22%, and the Panama Red's at just under 20. So they're all potent enough to do the job for sure. I couldn't tell you what the flavor profile would be like on the Clemenberry because it's the first time I've seen it. So let's see what they talk about. Do they say anything about it? They say the effects are energetic, happy, creative, focused, and inspired. But they don't talk about terpenes or anything like that.
Aha!
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it might be on the packaging, but it's not. And a lot of times they won't put that stuff on the website because every harvest is a bit different. So unless they want to go back in there and if they want to go back in there and update their website every time they get a new order in, most of the time they'll leave out those kind of details just because it's easier.
Shame. We all know your name.
Yeah. So green crack, Lori? Green crack. C-R-A-C-K. I had to spell.
C-R-A-C-K.
So they have animal crack, no green crack. Yeah, but that's going to be a mix. That's going to be a mix of animal cookies and green crack. So you're going to get part of the crack genetic in there. But that one's coming in nice. That's just under 27%. and $45 for a 3.5. So $12.50 a gram, basically.
Yeah.
Which is a little less expensive.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a good price.
Yep. Not bad. I prefer the $5 a gram I'm used to paying, but
yeah,
but that's not your option. So you got to do the best with what you got.
All right, now distillate. She says, please. I'm sure she meant to say please.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, you closed it all out already, right?
I just closed the tab. Okay, so there we go. Next level wellness. Boom. 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 You like to eat the distillate, eh, Lori?
She likes to eat the something.
Well, I know she likes to eat the distillate.
Oh, you made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Whoa. They don't have any distillate.
They have an RSO, yes.
Well, I just looked at concentrates. And they got a live butter, a live resin, a live rosin, a crumble, a butter, diamonds, crumble, resin, shag. So they don't have any distillate unless it's in the orals.
Syringes.
Well, I'm going to look at the orals here and see what they got there.
How high are you? I'm sorry.
All right. So there's no distillate, Lori. I don't know if you got distillate there before, but if you did, they don't have it in stock right now. Looking at the tinctures, I don't see anything in RSO.
Oh.
Yeah, and the concentrates, they don't even have a distillate category.
Oh, Lori. What
Yeah.
are we going to do now?
Yeah.
She's going to be cranky. It's going to be a cranky week.
Sorry, there are no products in that category. So no edibles, no capsules. Yeah, that's it, Lori. Well, I'm looking at their online shop, so I don't think it's specific to Clarksburg or Nutter City or whatever it's called. I don't remember the other locations, but that's what I'm seeing on their website.
She has
Nutter Fort.
4 stores available to her in that area.
Yep.
Now,
yeah, their website doesn't seem to
segregate.
Be set up by location, right? It's like a general menu for all the stores, I would imagine.
Well, thank you, Patricia. I got them at the OVDJ campout. They are beautiful. I love them. They're just like the ones that Muck Sticky wears. And they're kind of like this alien's eyes up there, too, if you look at them. Kind of freaky. Anyway, so you're moving. You're excited? What, man?
I'll feel a whole lot better come Sunday. The next couple of days are going to be stressful.
When it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, we won't be unpacked, but at least, everything will be out of the truck. It'll be in the place.
The bed will be set up so you can sleep.
Yeah, see, I don't know what to do with Loki, right? This is part of my problem because my daughter has Loki's sister, but her dog is a female and has a little bit of dog aggression, part of the breed, I guess. And so we can't have him and her together until they've been reintroduced to each other because they lived together for their first 8 months of life, right? So they know each other pretty well, but they haven't seen each other in 5 years or 4.5 years. So we don't know how they're going to be together. So I can't stay at my daughter's place with the dog. But we thought about having the dog stay at my son's house. But my son has a roommate. And the crazy part is that his roommate is a student from Africa. And we don't know how the dog will respond to a person of another color, right? Because he's never really.
I told you, my
seen a
dog is racist. My dog is racist. Not taught racism, but she came out that way.
Well, I don't know, right? And dogs are different. Like sometimes people from Africa have a fear of dogs because they're used like, you know, in their kind of like the struggles that they have within their own country, right? With the opposing militaries and things like that sometimes. And I'm not sure where he's from, which country, but sometimes they use dogs, right? To terrify the peoples in the village and stuff, right? And so sometimes they don't feel very comfortable around dogs. They don't have the same perception of them that we do. So I don't know if leaving my dog at my son's place is a good idea, especially because my son will most likely be helping us doing the move, right?
Right, yeah.
So what my wife and I are thinking about doing is just going into that empty place when we get there Friday night and throwing an air mattress on the floor and sleeping in the new place with it empty. You know, might be fun though. We set up a box and have a pizza, and well, we can't smoke a joint in there, but we can smoke distant. We can smoke the vapes. So I don't know.
Go out on your balcony.
That I can do.
And smoke a joint.
That I can do, but I prefer to be in comfort when I do those things. You know what I mean? I like to be sitting down, relax, chill.
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't get the luxury of being sit down and chill. Sometimes you got to work a little, bucko.
Right.
You got to stand and smoke your joint.
Yeah, but then if I get a good head rush, maybe I'll fall down.
And then you don't have to help unpack anymore. You just say, oh, my head. And you sit on the floor over in the corner and you let the kid do it.
Yeah, so, and then this morning, my son was arranging for 4 of his buddies to give us a hand on that end. And sure enough, we talked to them all, but some of them are working on Saturday. One of them, I guess it's a Jewish holiday. Yeah. So he has to attend synagogue. So he's not available until after 3 o'clock. But the problem is I'm going into an apartment where I got to block the elevator, right, to do the move. And they can only give it to me between 8 a.m. and noon. So I had that panic this morning where I called my daughter and I said, please use Kijiji or whatever you can to find me some labor for the day. And she managed to get some responses. She posted in a Facebook group and got some responses from people. And I managed to have a conversation with a guy. So now my labor issue is solved for Saturday morning. Hopefully if he shows up.
Standing there watching my friend the whole time, are we?
Well, somebody's got to supervise.
Yeah, you're going to be the supervisor.
I've got to supervise. And I worked in the moving business back when I was younger, so I know what kind of job it is, but I also know what kind of funny business goes on. So, but once it's all said and done, come Sunday, I'll feel a whole lot better. Come Monday, when my internet goes in, then I'll be able to really relax. I'm just really lucky. My phone plans, I got 75 gigs of data every month, and I have 2 lines. So I actually got 150 gigs of data, so I'll be able to use my phone to at least watch TV once it's in the house. Nice. So it won't be too bad, you know. And I'm going to have all kinds of great restaurants.
Nice. I'm excited for you. I mean, it's going to be rough for a couple days, a week or two, but you'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our commercials, and we'll be right back. You're hanging with the
We're almost at 420 again.
Yeah.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Please like, share, subscribe.
In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an
Get
entrepreneur.
ready for 420. It's coming
Her
up in
knowledge
5
was
minutes.
limitless and still
I got the
is.
Bel Air Kush.
She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, yeah, baby, it's Mark Sticky, and you're blazing with WTHC Radio on Live 365 and tune in.
Happy birthday to Mama Sticky.
Yes, happy birthday to Mama Sticky. What's shaking in your grinder, buckaroo?
What's up, Jag? How you doing, Sean? Thanks for joining us today.
Roast you like a chicken dinner, toast you like a glass of champagne, eat you up like propane. You know I'm your mate, warm you up in your brain. My inferno is eternal, I've been knocking your face.
Jag, I'd love to have you on the show in the near future as well. Please hit me up.
Grab my guitar, baby, pluck a tune, hotter than the pavement down. Give you everything that you desire. Change to figure it out because I spit hard. Do buckaroo, what's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder?
There had no funky shit.
What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder?
There had no funky shit.
Sticky, 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 mother. On a fat junk. I be blazing through and looking for the chewing. Treat you to a nice meal. Maybe stick a shrimp. Pickle, Peter Piper. Hanging up and down.
What's up, Curly Cow?
Battle in the evil forces beat them like the fish and weed. I'm clever when I'm on the level. Pebble in the edge, trimming up the big buzz like the thunder, trimming edges. I can travel to the cosmos almost any time I wish. Munching on some mushies after fall in the dish. Kiss a fat doobie.
Oh, super.
Fat doobie. Sticky mucker blowing up, exploding like a booty. Chewy like Chewbacca. I'll be like a bucket.
I'm so happy. I knew they would.
Till I drop fucking dead, which means I'm gonna be here forever. You do. What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder?
Are Lucy and Salem cats or dogs or people?
Salem is her cat, the new
Okay.
black one that I was going to take.
What's shaking in your grinder? What's shaking in your grinder? Do you get? Puff it like a choo-choo, need a pontoon, don't you know I'm coming through? How do you do? For real, what's shaking in your grinder? Looking for some Mary Jane, don't you know I'm gonna find her? Don't need a reminder, I know when I'm low, I can hide with a little help from my friend Joe. sing out of tune, so you stick around. Might find me in the shower swinging my dick around. Running like the circus, working on a good buzz. You're fuzzy on the details, sending you an email. Never does the weed feel. To you a higher plane when it's taking my fear. The air in the brain, you can never maintain. And this is a fact, and I'm back. Now let's burn another sack. How do you do? We're chicken in your brother. We're chicken in your brother. We're chicken in your brother. And I ain't never had no funky shit like this before. How do you do?
Happy 420, everybody.
We're chicken in your brother. Never had no funky shit.
The Bel Air Kush, it's funky.
Well, I'm sticky mother got content galore. You might have a lot of content, but I got much more. Super curvy dubby, I wanna get lit. Take a big old hit, cause this shit legit. So what you want? I want the cash for the show up front. Keep kick around like a punt. For the fun, I'm always on the hunt. Come along and get down. Pass it all around. Aren't you glad you found the funky fresh cookie mug sound? We can go downtown, party like a prince. I'm making a fun, let the good times commence. Let me just bring to find me, soaking up the sunshine, toking up the fun time, looking up the fun time, looking up the fun round to go along with dinner. Crossing that finish line, looking like a winner, baby. How do you do? Oh, we're shaking in your grinder. We're shaking in your grinder. We're shaking in your grinder. Never had no funky shit like this before. How do you do? Oh, we're shaking in your grinder. We're shaking in your grinder. We're shaking in your grinder. Never had no funky shit like
WTHC, we're back. That was Buckaroo by our friend Muck Sticky, man. Oh, it was such a great show. I still can't stop thinking about it the whole fucking weekend. Like, even like a lot of the DJs, like, I didn't get up because I'm fat and lazy, but I was close enough that I could hear them, and they were all fucking amazed. Everybody was, it was just the whole fucking weekend. The only person that I didn't get to see was the yoga girl. And I tried to avoid her because they like to pick on fat guys. They're like, so every time I got near, I would turn and go the other way.
Yeah.
Forget
about downward dog. I have enough problems with roll over.
Yeah, that's what they're like. Come on, get down on the ground. I'm like, no. I'm gonna need 6 of you young ladies to help get my fat ass back up.
You're getting me down here.
Right, there's 6 of us to get us back up off the ground. But she's gonna come on. We're gonna have a talk with her and Louis the 13th and everybody. I'm trying to get a hold of everybody from there. So if you were there and you partied there and you want to come hang out, come tell me. Let me know, because it was such a great time. I don't want to ever forget it. Anyway, what else, Dr. High? It's 22 minutes after. We got plenty of time. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Today I wasn't thinking too much about cannabis because I've been thinking about so many other things. So I don't know. I don't have any idea. How's the voting coming, Garrett?
I rolled a nice hash joint earlier. It was very nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very good.
How's that?
Tasty, very tasty.
I'm a long way, Garrett, from Laverne, Minnesota. Probably a 2-day drive, I would imagine. Yeah, how's the vote coming along, Garrett? Where are we sitting? I don't know. From what I was seeing in the chat, I'm thinking Cannabis Chronicles is going to be the winner with this vote. It seems to have been more popular than Potent Perspectives. So is that the way we're going to roll?
Yeah, it looks like Cannabis Chronicles is the leader. The Cannabis Chronicles with Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh. Buzz! Hi, Buzz. That's my friend Buzz, DoktorHigh.
I was going to say, there's an odd resemblance.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I love you, buddy. Mwah. Everybody, make sure you follow Buzz. He's a great guy, too. He's cool as shit. Except for he's in Texas, so he's hot as shit because it's always hot.
I tell you, I got a sister-in-law who lives in Texas, and man, they get hammered with some of the toughest weather, eh? With hail and tornadoes, and I tell you, Texas. But you know what? You get beautiful homes there for really good money. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So you can do okay like that.
Yeah, but I don't know
Cannabis
if I can do
Chronicles.
okay with hot. All right, so that's what it's
What
going to
would
be.
you
I
do?
think it's the winner, right? The Cannabis Chronicles with the hippie and
Well,
Dr.
Garrett's
High.
just going to tally up the vote, but yeah, from what I was seeing in the chat, unless there was some silent voting going on in the back there,
Yeah.
unless there was some like Georgia business happening, then I think Cannabis Chronicles is probably it.
He says, yeah, we can call it.
You can call it, eh? The Cannabis Chronicles with the hippie and Dr. High.
Monday through Friday on CBG TV.
Yep.
And
And
Pace
Pace Radio
Radio Network and
WTHC.
WTHC Radio on Live 365 and tune in. I'm going to spend most of the day just telling everybody where we're at.
Well, it'll be easier for us to come up with topics for the show because we'll have less time that we got to fill, right?
Right. We'll be like,
So,
all right, hip Dr. High, here we go.
every
Hi,
cloud
I'm
is
the
silver
hippie.
lining.
Welcome to the Cannabis Chronicles with
Yeah.
the hippie and Dr. High. You
Yeah,
can
sure.
find us on, well, you're there. You're already here. If you found us, then you're here. No, I don't have to tell anybody.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's going to work. We'll be
Yeah,
good
I
with
like
that.
it.
Absolutely.
You like it?
Yeah. Yep. The community has spoken, and we will listen because we know that more than one mind usually thinks more powerfully. So,
right.
That's a
I
good
love it. I think it's a good name too. I really do. Cannabis Chronicle, the Cannabis Chronicles with the hippie and Dr. High.
That's it. That's going to be good. I like that.
The hippie and Dr. High's Cannabis Chronicles.
We have found our identity.
We have been identified. I've been
After
finding a lot of identifying this week. Between this, I identified this week, and now we identified our name of our show. This is great.
Yeah, we appreciate your hard work, Garrett. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great.
Hippie just showed you his appreciation.
Yeah, I got a little
It
woody.
looked rock solid for you. So
No, that's a semi.
that's a semi.
Yeah, that's a semi.
That's funny.
That's like waking up with the morning wood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That one that you have to go pee and then it disappears. You're like, oh, I thought I was going to get laid.
I don't know. I think
Gone.
that's somewhere around 45.
It's gone now. Damn it, it's gone.
Yep.
Anyway, anybody else got any questions about weed?
From oak to willow.
Weeping willow.
Yeah. Well, the weeping is happening up here. The willows.
No. Let's talk weed. I could go get my plant, but we've decided that we're not going to trim it, right? We're going to let this fucker grow.
Well, you'd still want to top it.
I do.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, because even though you're going to let it grow, you still want to try and bring everything to the same height, right? Because that way, when you have your light above it, then you'll have, 12 buds getting direct light or 16 or however many. Like the longer you let it go, the more you can actually develop into that shape, right? That we'll be looking for a grow of that nature. So, yeah, you can if you want. I mean, it's going to take 2 seconds to do it.
Should we do it here today?
If you want to. If we don't do it today, it'll have to wait till next Tuesday. So we can do it either way.
All right, let's do it today then. I'm going to take a break. You're in charge. I'm going to run out to the other room and grab her. I need a hit first.
Blue Dream, classic strain, Patricia. Been around for a long time. I grew a pile of Blue Dream. So much of that I'm very familiar with it. Very nice strain. What's everybody else smoking on? What are you smoking on today, Garrett? Why'd you give up on your plant, Lori? It's a very hardy plant. They can survive all kinds of stuff. And now you got your license. So your neighbors would have to just shut up. Smoking on the Uncle Roach. No, his stuff ain't going to be ready for a while yet, but I saw some pictures of it yesterday. And he got nice little flowers forming on there. It looks like he's about 2.5 to 3 weeks in. So you're going to see some big changes over the next 4 weeks with that plant. They're going to swell and really come to be something. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, they're looking nice. How do they smell? You know, if you want to know what a cannabis plant is going to smell like when it finishes, now that it's in flower, if you take the main stem and you take your fingers and you just rub them on the stem, and you'll be able to pick up the idea of how that plant's going to finish off, right? What kind of nose it'll have, what'll be the smell. And by identifying the odors, then you can sometimes look at the potential terpenes that are there. You know, is it peppery? Then you got your beta caryophyllene. Is it more citrusy? Then you probably have more limonene. Is it more piney smelling? Then you're looking at more pinene. So, you know, you can get a bit of an idea. Yeah, they'll be starting to smell by now for sure. But yeah, if you rub the stem like that, Chris, you'll get an idea of where it's going, especially now that you're in flower. Look at the hippies plant. Oh yeah. Wait till 4 weeks from now. Do you use odor control? Do you have a can filter there? An activated charcoal filter that you're pulling your air from the grow room from as it vents out? Purple haze, very nice. Very nice. Grew quite a bit of purple haze too. And purple kush.
I don't know what we're looking at.
All right, well, we only need to worry about one thing.
What?
See, it's really starting to grow, eh?
Oh yeah. I don't want to touch it. It's beautiful.
Can you imagine it's only been 2 weeks since you transplanted it? Look at this. Look where it was when you transplanted it. Look what you have now.
Yeah. I love it.
So the idea is what we're going to do is you see that you have your lower branches coming off and then your next set. So right now you're at your like 5th set of branches, basically. You've already started to form 5 different sets,
7,
right?
8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah. But 5 times 2, right?
No. 10 different areas where a branch has started out.
Okay, so that's a good start because what we'll be able to do is get you at least 10 tops. So 10 colas right out of this plant. But we'll be able to get more.
There's more too. I mean,
well, yeah, there'll be more.
No, I mean, like, I don't know what you're talking. Like the big ones that are sticking out off the sides.
No, we're only talking about the branches for now because we're not going to take any leaf. We're just going to stop the plant's upward growth from the center. So no longer going to take on that pine tree shape. It's going to take, that's what you're going to clip.
But if we're going inside, don't we want it to? It doesn't have to clip it. I mean,
no, because the way it's growing now, right? What's going to end up happening is that center is going to continue to outperform the rest of the plant. And when your light is on it, you'll have one bud, that center bud, that's going to get the light at one strength. And then everything that's below that canopy is going to get less and less light. So the idea is to create as much what we call canopy as possible. So you want as much of that plant to be level so that now instead of having one bud, you'll have, 8 buds, 10 buds, 12 buds, but they'll all be at the same height. So they're all getting the right light, and everything below the top is usually a lot lower quality. So the idea now is to create the right shape.
Right, no low.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Because once you clip that top, what's going to happen is the upward growth is going to slow down, and these other branches are going to begin to catch up towards the top. And then when this branch reaches that level, you're going to pinch it, and so on.
Can you see the top?
Yeah, I can see it.
You see it? There's like a little bud. Looks like it's already starting to form here.
Yeah. Well, you're going to take, you see those 2 leaves right there, and then you got the bud coming up through the center.
Yeah, these
You're
two
gonna-
little ones.
Yeah, like the exact center of the plant, you're going to snip off that little leaf set and the bud part.
At the bottom stem, like where the next two leaves start to come out, or at the top of the stem?
Just above where the two leaves are coming off. If you got scissors, use scissors.
I have an X-Acto knife. Will that work?
Yeah, you can use an X-Acto knife. And then you got to eat that.
All right.
You got to get the flavor.
All right, so now there's just a big V here on the top. You see that?
Exactly. Yep. That's what it should look like.
And that's all I had to do?
See, you'll end up getting new branches. Yeah, that's it. You're done. Now tell me take that little bud right in the center. You don't got to eat the leaf, but that very center piece, that fresh new growth, pinch that off and pop it in your mouth and tell me what it tastes like.
So now I took that piece out of in here.
Yep.
And it's right here.
Yeah, just pop it in your mouth.
Like a little hairy looking like thing.
Yeah, just pop it right in there and taste it. You're a cook.
Definitely doesn't taste like you wanted, what you would think it was going to taste like. Yeah, you know what?
They
It
have
does. It tastes,
like watermelon.
it tastes like a watermelon rind. It tastes like the white part of the watermelon when you go too far, you know? Just a little bit too far into the white.
It's weird, eh?
Yeah, it's actually very tasty. Now,
Yeah,
these are going to
I know. I've always
taste like they're just going to taste like leaves.
Yeah, they won't have that same sweetness, right? But they are nutritionally good for you, so you're getting nutritional value from eating them anyway. You know.
Find out, I guess.
When I grew my first plant successfully, I was probably 19. We had planted other plants, but we didn't really know a whole lot about it. Like, this is kind of a funny story, but one of the years I was in high school, back then weed was full of seeds. Like, you didn't find
really
oh yeah, you didn't find sensinia.
I'm being
Like,
sarcastic.
There was no such thing as sensi when I was growing up, because sensi is the Spanish word for without seeds, right? So there was no sensi. That started showing up like in the early 80s. But when I was in high school, sometimes we'd have an ounce of weed. So we'd go out in the car at lunchtime and we'd have a double record album.
Guys, story time.
Pink Floyd The Wall or something like that. And we'd crush up that whole ounce. And you'd have your record album this way, and you would take your book of papers or a card and you'd toss the weed up onto the angled side, and the weed would stick, but the seeds would fall away, right? So that's how we clean the seeds out of the bag.
Yeah.
So one day we cleaned out a bag of weed right there at school at lunchtime, and my high school had cornfield on 3 sides. So there was the main road where the front of the school faced, but the sides and at the back of the sports field was all corn. So we just took all those seeds and we threw them out from the parking lot into the cornfield and just didn't think about it. And the following September, when I was going back, we had to go back to school a couple of days before school started to, like, I don't know, pick up our schedules or do something, right? But we had to go there a couple of days before it started. And me and my buddy went. And as we're leaving the school and driving out of the parking lot, I said to him, Steve, remember all those seeds that we threw out in the corn? And before I finished saying it, he says, stop. What? You know? And so we stopped and we got out of that car, and 3 plants had grown from those seeds. And they were like big, like the corn. Like they were huge. Nobody had paid attention to them, but there had been nobody at school right over the summer. So nobody really saw them. And so we yanked those 3 suckers right out of the ground. Of course, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, because it was like late August, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe around the 1st of September. So the plants hadn't even flowered yet. We were in Southern Ontario. So You know, that would have finished probably in late October down there. But we yanked them out because we knew school was about to start. We were going to get them, and we stuffed them into the back of my Camaro. So we had these 3 plants because they were so big, right? So we had them going into the back seat of the Camaro, but we had to have them between the 2 seats because that's how big they were. So the roots are in the back seat, the plants coming up in between the 2 seats, 3 of them, and it's got half the windshield full of leaf. So I'm driving. My buddy's holding the plants over to this side so I can see out the windshield as I'm driving. And we lived in a small town, like 6,000 people, right? So I'm driving down the road to go towards our house, and who's coming the other way but the local police driving towards us. And I mean, the window was half full of these fucking pot leaves, right? But for some reason, we passed the cop. I'm looking in my mirror. He keeps going straight. I keep going straight. Nobody turned around.
Nobody moved. Nobody moved. Nobody moved. Everybody's
so we got those things home, and of course, we didn't know what we were doing, right? So we dried it all out and tried to smoke it, but it wasn't anything spectacular.
You smoked the leaf. You smoked the leaf.
Yeah, pretty much. But we were ignorant, right? We didn't know too much about it at that time. You know?
Yeah, sure.
It might have been maybe one of the first pot plants I actually had seen like live as a plant, right? Like we had smoked weed before, but I don't know if I'd ever seen, you know, a fully grown plant at the time. Might have been my first one. I can't say for a fact it was, but it could have been, right?
Yeah.
White on leaf, is that mold? It could be powdery mildew. That's usually what powdery mildew looks like. And that happens when the leaves are wet and the temperature drops like it does at night. This is the most dangerous time of year for outdoor cannabis plants because you have warm days and cool nights, which means that you get dew, right? So you get dew inside the buds. And if your plant's super dense, there's not enough heat during the daytime or long enough light to actually dry them out, right? So that moisture sits in there, and then you get the cool nights, and that's when the mold develops in the buds. But that's when the powdery mildew can show up on your plants. So for a situation like that, Lori, with the powdery mildew, what you can do is you can take like a 1 quart spray bottle and just fill it with water and put 2 or 3 drops of dish soap. And I mean, when I say 2 or 3 drops, I mean 2 or 3 drops. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, really, that's it. 2 or 3 drops. And then just shake it together. It's so little soap that you'll hardly even get bubbles in there. And then you can just mist that right onto the leaves of your plant. And that'll help with the powdery mildew. But you really have to pay attention, right? Once you see that happen, then you know you're in danger. You have to really stay on top of it from there. But that's one of the things that we used to buy something called PM wash, which is powdery mildew wash. And it was expensive. It was about, if I remember correctly, maybe $55 or $60 a jug for this stuff. And one day, I don't know why, I decided to look at the label. You know, we just paid attention to PM wash. The guy at the hydro store said, "Oh, this is what you need. Here you go." Didn't pay much attention to it. We just used it. He told us what to do, and we did. But then one day I'm looking at the label, and I see that it's like 99.9% distilled water, 1% or 0.1% soap or something like that. You know, that was the whole thing, and they were charging us like $55 for the jug. So from that point on, I was like, well, hell, that doesn't make any sense to pay that. We know what we got to do.
Uh-oh. Check out Patricia's little story over there.
I pulled over coming from Houston, going to Brady, Texas. My ex was driving, and I had a quarter pound under the seat. It ranked up the car. Oh, yeah, it will. I gave the insurance to my ex for the officer, went back to his car. I put the QP in the glove box. The cop searched the car, but never looked back in the glove box. Well, thank goodness for that. His nose must have been telling him something was up. That's for sure. Because a lot of times that's what cops will do, right? When they pull you over, they're smelling for alcohol or they're smelling for cannabis, you know?
I don't even think they smell for anything now. They just say, get out. If they don't like the looks of you, they tell you to get out.
Yeah, it might be different in the States, but I mean, we've been through.
I'm a long-haired hippie freak, man.
That's right. You know, during the holiday season, they do these drinking and driving spot checks. You know what I mean? They'll set up a traffic funnel and you go through them. A lot of times that I've seen, they keep little stickers, right? Little police stickers on there, like a police athletic association type thing or whatever they call it, right? Police Benevolent Society.
PAL,
So
yeah, police athletic.
the cop will talk to you for a second, and then he'll actually lean down and take that little sticker and put it on the inside of your windshield himself. But just so he can get his face like right into your compartment, basically, right? To get a good smell at what's going on. They're doing it like everything is good, right? Oh, here you go. Nice. Thank you. But really, they're using that opportunity to investigate.
That's when I fart. That's when I fart. I'm like,
yeah, that would be the perfect time, right?
Because
Have
I
it
get
just
nervous.
rolling right up the door panel as he leans in.
I have nervous farting syndrome, and when I get nervous, gas comes out, and I go, oh, there you go. You ain't smelling nothing, buddy.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing but doo-doo.
Well, you know, when they first legalized cannabis here, there was a lot of like public service commercials on TV, you know, about smoking weed and driving and these kind of things. But one of them was a cop that would come on, and his saying was, "Keep your skunk in the trunk." Right? They didn't want you. It would be like driving with open liquor in the car, which of course is illegal. Driving with open cannabis in the car is not legal either. So they say, that's what they say. If you're going from the dispensary or you're moving your cannabis from your medical cultivation facility to your storage location, keep your skunk in the trunk. See, now that was a funny thing, right? With my medical license, when I was growing medicinally, my first one, I don't remember the second one, but my first one allowed me to grow at 33 grams a day.
I want to hang out with Patricia. Jesus, she's driving around with pounds. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, Patricia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, I probably got some of that Alabama green.
You never know. If that was back in the day, that'd have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I was just going to say something. Damn it. I don't know.
So we were talking about keeping the skunk in the trunk, and then I was talking about storage, because in Canada it's kind of funny, right? You get a medical prescription, and then if you decide to go with cultivation,
that's what
you're allowed like 5 plants per gram, 4.9 plants per gram per day. So you're allowed to have X number of plants, right? So let's say you got a 10 gram a day prescription, you're allowed to have 50 plants. And you can only move with 150 grams maximum. You can never have more than 150 grams on you while you're out in your car in public or whatever. But my storage, when I had my 33 grams a day, I was allowed to store 22 kilos of cannabis in my residence legally. So like 47, 48 pounds, 49 pounds, I was allowed to have legally in my house.
In your closet.
Yeah, in my storage, because they would separate, right? You'd have your designated cultivation area and you had your storage location. It was very incredible the amounts of cannabis they allowed you to possess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. A day.
What's that?
Your prescription was a month?
No, it was a day. 33 grams a day.
Nice.
My first one, and then it was 50 grams a day a year later when I went back to the doctor.
Let me ask you a question now, but really and truthfully, you guys were, and nobody's listening. It was like you were kind of fibbing a little, maybe, and saying you were juicing it, but you really weren't. I mean, and that's why you were getting the prescriptions bigger. Is that something
we were
that
selling
happened?
We
Right.
were selling.
Don't tell everybody.
I don't care. I tell the truth. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, and how many times have I said on this show, I'm not a medical user. I'm a recreational user. I've always been a recreational user. You know what I mean? But it just became a loophole, right? When they opened up the ACMPR, it became a loophole. it became an opportunity to do this without legal consequence. You know what I mean? And the people that I was associated with at the time were all over it. They were like, yeah, this is perfect. Like my boss had 11 grows already going on that were illegal grows, right? He had cultivation partners all over the place. So basically Johnny would fund the projects. So he would pay for everything and you would become 50-50 partners. He'd put in the money, you'd put in the work. And he was great like that. Like his chain of retail head shops, Prohibition, I know at least 10 people who started working in a store just as an employee behind the counter, just, you know what I mean, selling accessories and stuff like that, and proved to be go-getters and were, you know, trustworthy people and did their job professionally. And the next thing you know, Johnny would be ready to open a store in a different community. And he'd go to that employee and he'd tell him, listen, you're good. I like having you on the team. This is what I'm willing to do. I will open that store. I will stock it with inventory, and you will run the store as a 50-50 partner. So basically, the second you walked into that location, we used to stock those stores with a little more than $100,000 worth of product opening, right? So when we would do a store open for Prohibition, the value of the product going in was close to $100,000. You know, and then you had building improvements and you had the lease. But the second you came into that business with Johnny, you were a 50-50 partner. Not the business has to make back the $100,000 in inventory and the $50,000 in building improvements. And no, if that store sold $10,000 that first week in profit, your end was $5,000, his end was $5,000, right off the rip. You know, he was a great guy like that. Yeah, he really was. Like he was in the head shop game before most were.
Is
right?
he still in the game, or?
Well, his son actually now runs the entire show because Johnny is probably
He's still alive, right?
Oh yeah, he's still this guy was.
Are you and him still friendly?
Oh yeah, we have no problems. I haven't talked to him in you know, like 6 years, but
I think that would be a great show. Hey, whoa, Mrs. High. You forgot my kiss. Have a great day.
So yeah, Johnny started this in 1980 as High Times. So it was actually called High Times for 35 years. And then as the internet became more and more prevalent, High Times Magazine, when people were searching High Times Magazine, they were finding Johnny's High Times in Canada. And they were buying product from him because you could. Right. You know what I mean? You could buy pipes and bongs and all this kind of stuff. And High Times Magazine was like, whoa, that's no good, right? They're piggybacking on our name. So they sued him for having High Times. After he'd had the business 35 years, all of a sudden he's getting sued for the name. And it went through the courts. It took a couple of years. Went through the courts. And the Canadian court decided that Johnny was allowed to keep the name High Times. However, since High Times Magazine was registered and started in 1976, and Johnny started his business in 1980, there was a chance that he named the store High Times because the magazine had already started to develop a name for itself, or a reputation, right, within the community. So he told them, you've had the name for so long, you can keep the name, but you'll have to pay High Times Magazine $1 million per location to keep the name. And at the time, he had 13 stores. So just to hold on to the name High Times, it would have cost him $13 million. And at that point, that's when he said, you know what? We can live without the name High Times. We'll just rebrand because everybody knows who we are anyway. Right? People come to our stores because we're the only ones around for so long.
Right.
So he became Prohibition. And now that's the chain, and he's up to 26, 27 stores now. So he's got a real thriving business, and his son runs it now, Chris, who's a really good guy who I'll be in contact with when I get back to Montreal, and Brandon. And
yeah, I would love to have them on the show and talk about your old days in the story. I mean, the dad, and then of course the son, and what's going on with the everything new going on in Prohibition. That would be a great show. I got to run a commercial because we're almost over, and I didn't.
We're almost there. Let's get it in.
We'll be back. You're hanging with Da.Hippie and Dr. High.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Private therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. You go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica.
I remember the canned weed, Tom.
Watching my nieces grow,
They're
play,
from
and learn
Jamaica
is
or
amazing. But not
from
every
Mexico.
child gets to be carefree.
Just
1
all
in 6
compressed
kids in
in
the
big
U.S. are hungry.
commercial-sized,
1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change.
I just keep looking at my plant now, and I'm like all concerned. What did Dr. High do to you?
Food that would have gone to waste. This food is then
I
provided
just made her better.
Being a kid should be about using
Now,
your
so now what you're
imagination,
saying is
learning,
all
and
these
having
other
fun.
branches are going to
These
start
children
pushing
shouldn't have
out
to
and
miss out on
becoming
simply being a
branches.
kid
Like
because they're hungry.
Yeah, they're going to start
stop growing up, and now those are all going to start to curve up towards the like.
Yes, exactly. And then you'll get to a point where they're all the same height, right? And that's the idea. Is to
create their own buds.
Yeah, you want to create just one level top with as many budding sites as
Why don't you
possible.
hang out with them on Facebook and on
I
TikTok?
got you.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays.
So it's not going to get much
Saturdays,
taller
Sundays.
than this.
Today,
now.
I want to go there
It'll
and
all
pick up
just
all
kind
the
of fill out.
That
It
sounds
will.
like a great
It'll
road
get taller
trip.
because what's going to happen is where you had one
Facebook.
one
You can also
growth
go
here
on
now,
Talking Mountain and
it's now
Dolphin
going to
today.
become
We
two.
are badass.
But as that repairs itself and
Discover the
becomes
natural
two,
path to
the
wellness
sides are
and
catching
healing
up.
Herbs and concentrates.
Right? So what you've done is taken
With
one
the
bud now and you've
holistic health,
effectively
we
turned
are
it
your
into two.
trusted source for premium herbs and concentrates.
You're going to have to
Wait a minute,
repeat
do
that.
they have
After.
weed?
I can't
Our
hear everything.
dedicated team is here to guide you on your wellness
I
journey.
heard most,
Open
but
7
that
days a
last
week,
little
10
bit,
to 10, ensuring you have access to what you need when you need it most. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates is located at Pot 2941 Highway 11, Burnt Church, New Brunswick, Canada. If you need assistance anytime,
I need assistance. I need weed.
just call 506-871-4299. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Where all the potheads go.
This is Crazy Lori from West Virginia, and I love listening to WTHC Radio with Da.Hippie.
Crazy
Lori.
You're so crazy. Breaking into the radio station and doing that when I'm not looking. Anyway, we're back. We're hanging. So yeah, I was a little concerned, but I get what you're saying. So now it's not going to keep growing so much in the middle. It's gonna outsides are going to start the candelabra upside down, and we're going to make lots of beautiful buds.
Yeah. So you know where you got the two leaves that are now a V right at the very top, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen at the base of each one of those leaves? A new branch is going to develop. So now where you just had that single growth.
Oh, so now
you're going to end
the
up
leaves will come in and
with
out the
two
opposite way.
branches. Yeah, they're going to come off with two branches from there. So now instead of having a single top, you'll have two tops. But as that development takes time, your side branches are having the opportunity to catch up. And then when everything kind of catches up, you can snip them all again and then double your volume one more time, right? Depending on how long you go before you decide to flower it. But you can achieve that where you're going to end up with, I've seen them as much as, maybe 16 colas at the top of a plant. You know what I mean? And that's really...
That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, if you're growing outside and you have the space, then it's not really the same kind of necessity, right? Because you've got the natural sunlight, especially if you're in a location where you get the full sun cycle every day. It's not such an important thing to do, but you're going to be in a controlled environment that's space limited, right? So what you're trying to do is maximize your usable space to obtain the highest yield possible within that contained area.
Right.
And this is how you can achieve that.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Now these new branches, they'll grow fairly soon because,
Well, you'll start to see them probably within the next couple of days.
Yeah. What's my next step from here now that I've done the
Just
cooking?
keep it on the routine.
Keep it on the routine, 18 and 6.
Yep. Stay on your 18 and 6.
I don't have any nutrients. I don't know if I need them. It looks fucking great. I mean, I don't want to mess with something if it ain't broken.
Well, you'll come to a point where that plant, as it grows, is going to utilize all the nutrition that's in that soil now, right? Because the soil has its initial bit of nutrition in it, unless you're using a pro mix. A pro mix is sterilized, so there's nothing there. You control everything. But with a potting soil, did you get the frog, the happy frog?
No, but I got their best quality.
Something similar to that?
Sorrel, yes. A very expensive sorrel. I got the Riot Act by the wife.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Like, I don't know why I'm paying $40 for fucking soil, but here you go. Here's your soil and your worm castings.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Hippie took it upon herself when I wasn't paying attention, by the way.
Right.
Great news. I have another one already growing.
Oh, nice. You popped another bean.
Yeah, well, my son found a bean in his dispensary jar.
Okay.
And he brought it down to me, and he scared the ever-living shit out of me. And when he scared me, I hit his hand because I didn't know who the fuck was sneaking up on me. And the seed went flying up into the air.
Oh.
And he said, well, there goes that. And I said, what? And I said, you scared the shit out of me. And he said, well, I had a seed I was trying to show you in my hand, but it's gone. And he walked away angrily. And I looked down on my big belly, and there was the seed.
And there was your seed.
And I said, asshole, come back here. Here's the seed. And then I gave it to him, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, nothing. He walked away angrily. And then I guess he gave it to my wife. And now she came to me yesterday and said that it is officially sprouted a tail and it is ready to be surled.
Oh, there you go.
So now I have a second plant going, which I wasn't prepared for, but I guess I'm prepared for it now.
Well,
it's like having a second child.
You definitely love two.
It's like having a second child now. I have to care about two of them again.
So I'm just looking at nutrients on Amazon for you.
Okay.
And you can get pretty much everything you need, and it'll last you not just for this plant, but it'll last you, if you're just growing one plant at a time, it would last you like years.
My goal is, my goal. By March, I want to have everything prepped and ready, my tires ready to go, and everything ready. And I'm putting out.
Well, this will do your full outdoor grow next season
75 to 100 plants in my backyard.
Yeah. No, it'll be like if you were to buy this nutrient combination.
None of it's for sale. It's all for me. None's for sale. 75 plants. I'm smoking it all to my head.
So you'd pay about $40 US for the nutrients for not only that plant you have going now, but that would cover your entire plants next summer too. And then maybe even more than that. You know what I mean?
All right, so $40, and I
yeah,
can get.
It's not a serious investment.
You're gonna have to send me the link. I mean, or the name of the shit.
Yeah, I'll send you the information because basically what you do is it's a combination pack. It's a grow and a bloom formula. Because when you change cannabis from the vegetative to the flowering phase, its nutritional requirement changes.
Right.
So you want to adjust your food at that time so that you're giving the plant what it really needs for that phase of its life cycle. So the bloom in the bud, it's $60 Canadian, which means in US it's probably going to be like 40. But it's all you would need for quite some time because in a gallon of water, you're using like 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
You use very, very, very little food in your preparation, right? And that plant that you have on the go right now in the house, even when it's at full growth in its flower cycle, you probably won't even use a gallon of water a day.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
I use a water bottle that like my wife drinks out of. You know, it's a tall metal one. You know, it's fairly
Yep.
big, and I fill it with that once a day in the morning when I put the lights on, and it seems to be enough. You know, and like I said, the soil is good. It's moist. I just carried it in here. It's definitely wet enough. It's not too dry. It's doing well.
But let it go dry in between waterings. Not
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
No. When I said every day, I don't mean every day.
Yeah.
When every day that it needs it. Yeah. No. I know. Yeah. No. I let it dry out, and not out completely, but to the point where I'm like, all right, it needs some help.
Yeah. You don't want it to look like a cracked desert lake bed. You never
Right.
want it to dry out to that point, but you do want the plants to have to work.
Yeah, when I put my finger into the dirt, into the soil, if it's still moisty, then
Yeah.
I'm good. But if it just comes up with a couple pieces of sand on my finger, you know, dirt on my finger, then I'm like, all right, it needs a little love. But if it's still, you know, I hear when I push on it, not squish, but you know what I mean. Like you can just tell the difference. I'm not a moron. I mean, I am, but
Nobody says that you're a moron.
oh no,
But-
Mississippi does. Mississippi
Oh,
says,
well, maybe so, but I can't speak to what Mississippi said. So
yeah,
I
you don't
don't
have
know.
to live with me.
No, I get you 2 hours a day, and I don't think you're a moron.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
you are for the
I'm
other 22, but for these
I'm
two,
on my
you're
best behavior when I'm here with you.
not. Oh, hey. Except you're always showing that new appendage.
Yeah, well, that's I'm getting over it. It was important in the beginning, but now I'm getting used to it. You know,
That's it.
I'm hanging in between your legs out of nowhere. Now you're like, what the hell is this shit? You know, and it makes you think about it every once in a while. You're like,
Yeah, see, Chris can attest to what I'm saying about the nutrients because he's got nutrients for his plant. And those bags or jars, whatever it is that you get, I have bags, but they look like jars there too, will last you a very long time.
now I got another question.
Yep.
So now that I carried it in here for the last time. It is officially staying in this room now, and this is gonna be the grow room.
Okay.
Now I'm in here like 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Now that's gonna be an issue in the future when I gotta go to 12 and 12, right?
Yes.
All right, but I have a closet in here. I have time before I'm going to 12 and 12, right?
Well, you can go to 12 and 12 whenever you want.
Well, I don't wanna.
So, you know, you'll determine that, but you'll
But
want
I
to
wanna give
consider
this
the
baby
size
some
of the
time.
plant also.
Yeah, I
right?
wanna I mean, the closet is my only issue. Is it's not a huge closet, but I can make it completely black in there. That's not an
Right.
issue.
And what you got to think about is
There's actually, if I went and I really made some effort, there's actually a light bulb at the top of the closet. I could probably get a black light, right? One of the grow lights, and put it right in there, and that would be a good low grow light as well.
The problem is that they wouldn't be enough, like into a
It's
socket
pretty
like
high
that.
up. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
high
but
up.
you can
Yeah.
put only like 100-watt bulb max in those things anyway.
All
And
right,
you really want for inside that closet, you'd want at least like a 600-watt bulb or an LED.
I have like 6 100-watt LED, you know, 6
Yeah.
100-watt things.
Yeah, I would use them all.
They're like 3 little arms that come up and they go over like certain plants, but
Yeah.
my wife said I can have them, and I'm just gonna put them on different locations of the plant. So that, and I move the locations daily so that other sides of the plant are getting right now. It's only been 3, but when I come in here tonight, it'll be 6 plus the blue and red light that I have on it.
Just at this stage, I think just the blue.
I don't have that choice, buddy. I don't have
Oh, they're both no matter what. You can't switch them back and forth. Yeah, so you'd want to use all 600 watts of that LED for that one plant, and it should be quite sufficient to do what you want to do. But when we're talking about plant size, right?
I'm sorry, Tish came in.
Yeah, hi Tish, and I didn't say hi to Corrine. How are you, Corrine? Thanks for joining us, Tish. Nice to see you. Happy middle of the day to yourself.
I think my glasses broke.
So you want to, oh my God, You really do have eyes.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I'm not blind.
Where's your glasses?
The rubber band just broke on the back of my nose.
Oh, popped right off.
Oh,
now everybody's gonna know you're stoned.
My eyes.
My eyes.
The light, it's killing me.
Yeah, so when we're talking about when you're gonna flip the flower, right? You
Yeah.
have to look at the space that you have available to you and then figure out half of that space, like height-wise, right? So if you have 6 feet to grow into, then at 3 feet of your plant, you want to switch it to flower. If you have 4 feet to grow into, at 2 feet, you
Well,
want to
I mean, the ceiling in here is 8 foot. I mean, technically. Now, my concern is width because the closet is not very width friendly.
right. Well, that's why we're going to shape the plant to fit into it.
Right. That's what I'm figuring. So we'll just, once it gets in there, the walls will help it shape, right?
To some extent, but we really don't want the plant growing against the wall because what happens then is the moisture gets trapped between the wall and the plant, and that's a potential mold spot. So we want to make sure that all the way around the plant there's some airflow. So it doesn't actually touch.
It might. I mean, I might just have to work in the dark.
Well, then you wouldn't need the glasses anymore.
Right.
It's so weird to see you without glasses. I think it's the first time I've ever seen you without your glasses on.
It's been a very long time since I've seen me without glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it.
It's different.
It's different. I think we're going to call it. I got to get out of here. I got hair and makeup. Where's makeup? Makeup. I need help. Somebody help me. I can't be out here like this.
Yep, that's the way to go, Tish. Timer and a fan, control your lights, control your airflow, control your temperatures. And that's it, right? You're just trying to recreate the optimal environment for a plant to grow in. So you have to think about what would be perfect outdoors, and you have to try and recreate that on the indoors. You know, and then everything's good.
What is a prime temperature?
So top of the plant, the leaf that's closest to the light, 75 to 80 degrees.
All right, let's stop for a second. This is a very small room.
Mhm.
It has no heat. So I have a little heater that I'm going to be running in here at all times.
Okay.
To keep it at a comfortable temperature. What comfortable temperature should that be?
Just try and keep your plant in the 70, I'd say closer to 75 degrees.
All right, so I'm going to be sweating like a porn star all winter.
Yeah, about 75 is good for your light. And then when you're in the dark, it's okay if it drops to like 67, 68. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's on a timer, so, you know, it'll turn on every periodically to keep the room at that temperature. With that little cool off time, it'll cool it down at night.
Because that's what the plant's used to, right? Nighttime's always cooler than the day. So in the dark cycle, you want to try and keep it a little bit cooler than the light cycle. So
yeah, I mean, I guess we can I'm okay until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what I'm doing till Tuesday.
Yeah, just keep it alive, keep it happy, keep it thriving. It looks like it's thriving, so just continue along the course and
yeah, make sure you send me that. I mean, I know you don't have to do it today because I know you're busy this week, but next week send me that information because I don't get the nutrients. Now, do I have to get them from Amazon, or I mean, is there my son works at a garden center? I mean, is there other types that I might be able to
there's other types. What you want to do is make sure that your nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus are at the right levels, right? So the plant requires them on the vegetative side, all three. Then when you switch to flower, you can drop off. I never remember whether it's potassium or nitrogen, but
we'll figure that out when the time comes.
NPK, right? Those are the.
I just don't want to. My concern is like if that package is $40 and it's going to come with the exact amount, then maybe I just do that instead of me trying to figure.
Well,
it out.
these are not just new; they're cannabis formulated, right? The ones that I look at are specifically formulated for
Yeah,
cannabis.
I'd rather just spend the money then and get them there.
Yeah, it's not expensive, and like I said, it'll last you a long time. Like it'll cost you $40 up front, but you won't have to even think about it. You could do 10 plants outside next summer and still have enough nutrients to cover it, right?
Yeah. Now, how often do you give nutrients? Like as needed, or is it something you do every day? Or
Well,
is it
if I'm watering, like if my plant's at the point where I have to water it every day, I'll feed 5 days out of 7. So I might feed 3 days in a row and then do 1 day of water and then do 3 days in a row, 1 day of just water, because you don't want all the salts and all that to build up.
that
in
is
the
6
roots, right?
out of 7? That's 6
Yeah,
out of
that's well,
7.
that's what I mean, right? You don't want to feed every day because there are salts and all that in that food, and if they build up around the roots, then the plant can't absorb the nutrition properly, so it gets locked out, right? You get what they call nutrient lock, and you can't get the nutrients to it. So by alternating from feed to just straight water, the straight water days have the chance to kind of wash those roots clean from the salt.
When you're doing the nutrients, you're actually just watering the plant with some nutrients in it.
Yeah, you're adding your nutrients to your water and then just watering the plant. Yep.
All right. We got to get out of here because I feel naked. And I got to do another commercial if we stay any longer, for crying out
All
loud.
right. Thanks for being with us today, everybody. It's a great show. We really appreciate your support and the time that you spend with us. Without you guys, we'd have no reason to be here.
Right. Helping us pick our name, Cannabis Chronicles.
Yes.
Hippie and
Cannabis
Dr. High.
Chronicles.
Thank you all for that.
Thank you,
Dr.
Tom.
High,
Thanks,
yes,
Garrett.
please. Have a safe trip. Be careful.
Thank you.
Don't hurt yourself. Let the boys do the work.
That's what I'm going to try and do. Hopefully, I'll have enough boys to do it.
We're
But-
getting old. We can't do
Yeah,
all
I know.
this stuff anymore.
I know, that's for sure.
All
But
right. If you
it'll be
guys,
great. Thanks for all the well wishes, guys. Have a great few days. Be safe. Stay stoned.
love you guys.
And
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, we will be back doing
Oh,
this again, officially as the Cannabis Chronicles.
Yes. I got to learn. how to
Hippie
spell
and
Chronicles.
Dr. High.
Yep. All right. Also,
Peace.
don't
Yes.
forget, I'm on the air all afternoon, every day, 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to be on until 10 o'clock because I think Nick, our new DJ coming on at WTHC, him and I, the puppet, me and the hippie, him and the hippie are going to come on and do some talk show stuff in the afternoons as well. So get ready for that. We're going to be doing another podcast where we're going to interview our musical friends and our friends that have already put out, and then we play their music. And yes, don't forget, the word of the day is herbalicious. Get on up to Brunswick, New Brunswick, Canada, Burnt Church, if you want to be exact, to Tailored Herbs and Concentrates. And make sure you tell them the hippie said that their pre-rolls are herbalicious. All right? All right, I'm out of here.
Beautiful.
All right. I think that's everything. It's
That's
not
it.
anywhere near everything, but I'm sure there's a million other things.
That's
I
enough.
love you all. Thank you, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great
everybody.
day.
Thanks. Have a great day, everyone.
We'll see you on Tuesday, and I will be on the air all the way. You know, I'm going to stay on until 2 o'clock every day.
Right.
In the mornings, I'll just play music while you're not here.
Well, I'll be listening when I can.
All right. Make
All
sure
right.
the truck drivers are listening too.
What's that?
Make sure the truck drivers are listening too.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
All right, buddy. I'll see
Perfect.
you soon.
Peace,
Good luck.
everybody. Thank you.
Peace.
Appreciate it.